Hi, I'm Emma, and this is a yoga designed to help anybody that's an athlete. I have a few teenagers that are athletes, and I did this practice with them the other day. I'm trying to get back to my athletic self after having another baby at 41. So I understand if you're an athlete that's needing a nice deep stretch. So here we go. We're going to start actually in shavasana. So go ahead and lay down on your mat. And palms can be facing up for the few first breaths that we're going to do, just as a sign that you're ready to receive whatever good things are going to come your way in this practice today. So go ahead and close your eyes and inhale through the nose, paying attention to your breath as it glides down your throat and expands your belly and your chest. And then keep your mouth closed as you exhale. So inhale. Let your shoulders soften and sink down into the ground, creating a nice long neck. You can even create a little bit of noise in the back of the throat, kind of like an ocean sound as you're going in through the nose, down the throat, expanding the belly, then back out the same way. Then take your hand and put one hand on the heart and one on the belly so you can go ahead and connect to your own energy. Just letting yourself sink down. We're going to do 3 more big breaths. Inhale. Getting ready to take care of ourselves in our practice today. So pull the right knee into the chest, hands on the shin, pulling the knee towards the armpit, the shoulder region, and then closer to the midline of the body, flexing the left toes, driving the left thigh down to the ground to create lots of resistance and stability. And you're just slowly pulling your right knee back and forth, allowing the pressure of your hands to kind of create some resistance and so that you can feel the hip warming up. Extend the right leg out, flex the right toes, drive the right thigh down as you pull the left leg up towards the armpit shoulder area and then towards the midline of the body. Really pulling that leg down and moving it slowly with your breath. Neck is nice and long. You don't want any tension in your face. Yoga is not like other athletics, where you want to actually just pay attention and move with the breath. You want to be soft but strong. Allow yourself to connect that way. Now pull both knees in and just move your knees around in a little circle, kind of just warming up the lower back. There you go. Let's go the other direction. And we're going to cross our legs over. Go ahead and rock up into our table position. So hands are going to be directly under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, index finger tracks forward, knees are under the hips, and the tops of feet are gently on the ground behind us. And as we inhale, we're going to draw our chest forward, raise our chin, spin our elbows towards each other. And then on the exhale, we're going to pull our belly to our spine and really let a lot of space come in between the vertebra and shoulders. So inhale, draw the chest forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, draw the chest forward. And exhale, round. 2 more, inhale. Just moving gently, slowly, allowing yourself to rise out of the shoulders, out of the hip joints. Good. Now take your right hip down to your right heel and have a nice long stretch inside. And then up to center and back to the other side. Left hip down to the left heel, or left corner of the mat. Move through that again, and as you move, try to move really loose and fluid, so really rock through the wrists to help warm those up as well. Moving forward and back. Should feel pretty good. to center neutral position. Tuck the toes under. You're just gonna go ahead and get all your weight back towards your heels and sit nice and tall. And we're gonna roll our wrists as we stretch our feet. If you're a runner, hiker, whatever, feels good to stretch our feet. Awesome, and then now walk your hands back out to where they were. Keep your toes curled under. We're gonna push up and hold with the knees hovered on just above the mat, about 3 inches. Pull the belly into the spine for support and just feel your strength. Now go ahead and rock over to your left hip. So you're gonna turn your body, all the weights in the left arm, and then open the elbow up to the ceiling, even extending the arm if you want for a chest stretch. Twisted beast. Now come back to center. Go to the other side. Let the right hip drop down all the way, or you can hover like I am doing. And then reach open with the elbow, open the chest, trying to not sink down into that shoulder. And just twisting the body to warm it up. Now come back to center. Push up and back into down dog. So in down dog, I'd love to have your feet about hip width apart. Your knees can be slightly bent if you'd like. The important thing is we're trying to draw our chest and our ribs back towards our thighs. So if you need to bend your knees, go ahead. Spinning the elbows out to the side, so external. Nice long line across the collarbone. And once you have this line between the top of your head to your tailbone, then you can start to straighten your legs and extend them down towards the mat there. Now let's pedal. Let's go ahead and straighten the right leg, bend the left. Bend the right, straighten the left. 2 more. Good. Now look to your hands. You're going to round and rock forward into our plank. Hold a nice strong plank. Hold the belly in, engage the thighs. Then lower the knees down, float the feet. Chest and chin come down as the elbows squeeze the ribs. Then you draw your chin forward, letting your shoulder blades glide down the back as you rise up into a little cobra. Exhale, lower the left cheek down onto the mat, and then lay here, just soften and wiggle the hips. On the next inhale, rise back up to cobra. Inhale, rise. Opening up the chest, shoulder blades gliding down. The glutes stay soft. And come down on the right cheek and wiggle the hips. Take a nice strong stance as you push up to plank. Hold plank for just a second. And then back to downward dog. Now walk your feet up. Take a stand right in back of your hands. And once you reach your hands, bend your knees deeply and let your chest come down onto your legs. We're going to just kind of smush down here for a second. And we are going to try to let our hip bones rise up to the ceiling, but you really want to keep your ribs resting on your thighs. On the inhale, go to a half lift, so straighten the legs and back. Hands can either be on the shin or on the ground. Inhale to straighten. And exhale to smush. Bending the legs. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, smush on down. If you want to, you can use your blocks. Inhale to straighten, half lift, flat back, nice long spine. Exhale to come on down. Now on the next inhale, arms come out up as we rise. So nice and tall, connect your hands at the top in prayer. Pull down the center line. Taking a nice deep breath. Inhale. Hips turning up towards the collarbone. Exhale. Interlace your fingers, index finger points straight up. Bring your big toes to touch. We're going to reach up and go over for a side body stretch. Kicking the left hip out, squeezing the ears with the biceps. Exhale, come down a little low. And come back to center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, go over to the left side, kicking the right hip out, spinning your head, looking up towards the ceiling. And then come back to center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fall back slightly, and then tuck your chin and round all the way down, bending those knees. Release the hands at the bottom. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, come on down, and then hands come to the mat as you jump or step back to plank. Do what we call a vinyasa, so we can lower our knees, flip feet, chest, chin come down like we did before. Rock forward and up into our cobra. And come on down and push up and back into our down dog. Inhale the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee through, pulling the foot and the knee up towards the body. We're going to call this plank crunch. And then set the foot down by the right pinky. So right foot is down by the right pinky. Your toes are out to a 45-degree angle. Back knee lowers down, flip the foot as we are in lizard. So in lizard, we're trying to stretch the hip area here. So you can go ahead and move around a little bit and rock if you like. Inhale, draw the chest forward. And then exhale, you can lower yourself down towards the ground, lowering this hip down. If you want to, use your blocks. So I'm going to show options here with blocks for those that need that. So one option is you can use them to put under your elbows this way, or this way, or you can lower all the way down to the ground, whatever feels good for you, but you want to hold that for a couple of breaths. So try to relax into the stretch, imagining you're opening up in that tight space. Keeping a nice long line between the top of your head and your tailbone. Good, push yourself up in the center. You're going to heel toe your foot across the mat so that your foot is going to be directly in front of your hip. We're going to rise up into our low lunge. So reach forward to rise. Inhale, rise out of the shoulder sockets, out of the hip sockets, nice tall body. Exhale, drive the left hip forward, open up the chest to cactus arms, letting the shoulder blades glide down nice and long neck. Then interlace the fingers behind the back and pull down towards the back heel. Really driving that left hip forward in space. Inhale, the arms rise back up. And use your blocks if you'd like. I'm going to shift back into a modified half split. So your weight is still going to stay in the center line. You're going to straighten your front leg and flex your toes. And you can use the blocks to help lower yourself down. So put them whatever position, whatever you need. But you're trying to draw your chest forward toward your toes. And then sink down and enjoy the stretch. The goal, though, is to not sink into this hip. So keep that nice and center. Now rise back up into our low lunge. Trying to keep your knee in back of the ankle. Rise up. And then we're going to go over to the side. So go back to kind of a neutral, not really getting back neutral position. And drop the right hand down. Reach up and over to the left side. You can use a block if you'd like to support you over here. But you're trying to reach down towards the ground and look up towards the ceiling. Good, come back to center. Both hands come down on the mat. Front foot goes to meet back foot. We're going to do our vinyasa option here. So chaturanga, rock high on the toes, rock forward 1 inch. Lower yourself down to hover halfway. Flip the feet. Push up into upward dog. And back into downward dog. Inhale the left leg up to the sky. Straight, strong leg. Exhale, bring it through plank crunch, so knee and heel hover up towards the body, and then place it down on the ground at a 45-degree angle, lowering the back knee down. We're going to go into lizard on this side. Make sure to flip the top of the foot. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Exhale, lower down. If you'd like to use your blocks, you're welcome to. I'll just show that again. Otherwise, you can just lower all the way down. Or you can stay up tall, whatever you can find a nice comfortable stretch in, and kind of move around this hip. Let's go ahead and heel to that foot into the low lunge on this side. So reach forward to rise. Reach up, lift out of the shoulder socket, hip socket, and then exhale, draw the right hip forward, lowering the shoulders down, and open up the arms to cactus arms on this side. Still pulling the belly in slightly so you don't splay out your abs. And release the fingers, draw them back towards your heel. Inhale. Exhale, chin rises. Coming back to center. And we're going to shift our weight back, so we're stacking our hip over our knee. And then flip the foot so that it's flexed. Front leg is straight, and then lower our chest down, so you can use your blocks if you'd like. I'm actually going to move my foot just slightly over a little bit more so I can find that nice center line. Draw the chest forward and good. Rock forward and then place both hands down on the mat. Front foot meets back foot as you go into your plank. Chaturanga, rock forward 1 inch, lower down halfway, push up into up dog, and back to downward dog. Let's go ahead and move on. So inhale the right leg up to the sky, nice straight leg. Exhale, bring it through, and this time you want to place the foot between the hands. And we're going to spin the back foot to a 45-degree angle. So we're going to rise up into our warrior one. So reach out to rise, front knee is at a 90 degree, back leg is nice and straight, and you want to imagine the weight is going to the pinky toe side of the foot. So inhale, we rise up with our ribs. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Nice long neck. Inhale. Exhale. Take the right hand under the left. We're going to go to a modified equal arms. So you can either be here, grab the thumb, or overlap the hands. And you want the hands to be right in between the eyes. Elbows drop forward and slightly up. And then we reach forward with our elbows as we fall into what we call wounded warrior. Inhale. Exhale, the shins stretch behind the shoulder blades, a nice deep stretch there. Trying to keep that front leg at a 90-degree angle. Good, release the hands down. We're going to spin the toes so that they're now facing the front. Lower that back knee down. And let's go into a quad stretch. So reach up and back with your left hand. Grab the outside part of your ankle and pull that leg towards you. Reaching down to the ground. To a little bit of twist in the body. And a deeper stretch. Deeper quad stretch. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and release that. So we're going to step back into our warrior one. Just for a second, rise up. And on 3, we're going to straighten our front leg and rock forward into warrior 3. So 1, 2, 3, straighten the front leg. Start to tilt forward, reaching with your hands forward as your back toe rises, driving the left hip down. Hold your warrior 3 just for 3 breaths. And then let the hands come down to the mat as we're in single leg split, letting the back leg rise up. Nice deep stretch behind the knee, behind the hamstring. Make sure your base toes are spread wide. Nice stable support. Now bend the front knee. We're going to float the back leg back into our warrior 2 setup. So the toes are actually going to be perpendicular to the front toes. So you have your heel-heel alignment here. And then cartwheel the arms up, front knee is bent, back leg is straight. And we're in warrior 2. Arms go out to a nice straight, strong arms, shoulders are down and relaxed, inner thighs split up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, reach up, flip the hand, reach up and back. For a reverse warrior, back hand is drifting down towards the ankle, ribs rise to the sky. Nice side body stretch. And then now cartwheel your arms down into extended side angle. Hand can be on the knee, or it can extend down towards the big toe. Whatever you want to do, just keeping your chest nice and open. On the inhale, let's rock back into reverse triangle, straightening the front leg. Inhale, rise straight. Oh, that feels good. Reach up and back, reverse triangle. And on the exhale, curl the arms back again, reaching forward, kicking the hip back. I'm actually going to heel toe my foot back forward a little bit. Keep the hip back, reach forward, and let the hand come on either the shin or a block behind the foot, or down to the ground, whatever you want to do. Top arm is going to rise it in. Twisting to keep the body nice and flat. Kicking the back and back. Legs are engaged. And then float the top hand towards the front toes, and twist to look up towards the ceiling. Good, let that top hand come on down. Spin the front toes so they're parallel with the back foot. We're in a wide leg forward fold. I know you guys know this one, but just a couple of cues. Keep the legs engaged. This is an active stretch. As you hang here, you can grab the ankles or the shins, whatever you want to do, and pull your chest towards your thighs. On the inhale though, let's go into our half lift and rise. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, fall. One more time, inhale, rise. Nice active stretch. Exhale, fall. Walk your hands over to the right leg. Pull your chest down up towards that side. Feeling a deeper stretch in the side, outside of the leg. And now rock your weight over to the right side by bending the right leg. And you're gonna flip the left toes up to have an inner thigh stretch. Hands can stay down on the ground, or you can come up. Really trying to flex the foot towards your body. Pull the belly in. Find support there. If that's too much for you, you can also stay up and do it this way. Use your hands to walk over to the other side. So draw your chest down towards the left leg. And then let's sink over into our left side. Flip the right toes up, pull the belly in. Sit, whoops, find your balance. Sit nice and tall. It helps to have this knee track out towards the left a little bit. Helps to not talk while we're doing this. Come back to center. Wide leg forward, fold stretch. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, go out to what we call goddess pose. Knees out to the side, hands can come into the center. And then drop back down. Walk your hands over to the back of the mat. We're going to turn all 10 toes to face the back. Lower your left knee down. No, that's not what I want to say. Bend your left knee. There we go. Right leg stays nice and straight. And you want to feel your inner thighs pulling towards each other. Your right hip is parallel to the ground. You're going to keep your right hand on the ground. Left hand comes up and on the middle of your back. And then twist the shoulder up towards the ceiling. And if you want to, you can extend your arm. But you're going to find the proper placement here. Really trying to keep that twist nice and center around the midline of your body. Good. Exhale, come back to center. Lower the left hand down. Left foot comes back to me. Right foot. Let's do our vinyasa. So your choice, you can lower your knees down here, or you can do chaturanga. Rock forward, lower down halfway. Up to up dog. Back to down dog. Let's do all of that on the left side. Here we go. Left leg rises up. Straight leg. Exhale, pull the knee to a plank crunch. Place the foot down between the hands. Spin the back foot down, so we're at a 45-degree angle. We're rising up into our warrior one. Arms come out now. Good. Feel nice and tall, nice and strong here. Trying to drive the back hip towards the front of the room. Very good. Now take the left hand under the right. So we go in eagle arms on this side. You can stay here, or here, or here, whatever is good for you. And then we inhale and we pull the elbows up. Like forward and up, as the chin rocks up to the sky. Now exhale, we're going to draw them forward as we lower down into our wounded warrior. And relax, feel that stretch behind your shoulder blades, feel how strong your legs are, push the ground away with your feet. Release the hands, lower the back knee down. Flip the foot, we're going to reach up and back to grab the foot on this side, lowering the front hand down to the ground. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now go ahead and release that. We're going to pop back up into our warrior one just for a second. Rise up. And then on the count of 3, we're going to straighten our front leg and rock forward into our warrior 3. 1, 2, 3. Straighten the front leg. Hover the back leg. Square your shoulders off to the the back of the mat, reaching tall, tall, tall with your hands, and then start to float your back leg backwards, driving the right hip to be parallel with the ground. And then with the hands, go ahead and come on down. Single leg split. Option to grab left leg with left hand and pull your chest towards the leg if you want to. You don't have to. Bend the front leg, float the back leg back, perpendicular feet as we rock up into our warrior two on this side. Nice wide stance, knee stays over the ankle. Weight is supported between both feet, and you don't want to be forward or back. You want to be right in the center. Nice, relaxed shoulders, but strong arms. I like to make little blades with my hands to remind me how strong I am, right? Inhale, reach forward, flip the hand to reach back, exhale. Now reach forward to go into side angle. Arm can be here. Arm floats up to the top, or you can extend your hand all the way down. And on the next inhale, straighten the front leg and rock back into reverse triangle. Inhale, straighten. Rock back, exhale. Right hand drags down towards the ankle. Now let's go ahead and go into our twisted triangle. So I'm going to heel toe my foot in just slightly. You're welcome to do that too. But we're reaching forward, kicking our back hip back, and reach, and then let the hand rest on either the shin or the ground. I showed a block before, but I'm just going to have my hand on the ground this time. Arm reaches up to the sky, and we have a nice long neck here. Top arm floats so that it's hovering parallel to the ground, and the fingers are pointing towards the front toes. And you twist and try to look to the ceiling. Good, now let that float down to the ground. Spin that left foot so that it's parallel with the right foot. Wide leg. Forward fold and hang. Your hips should be nice and loose by now. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fall. Very good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fall. Walk your hands over to the right side. Let all 10 toes face the front of the mat again. We're going to go back into our runner's lunge. So bent front leg, straight back leg, left hand stays down, right hand comes up to the middle back, and you're going to twist and look up towards the ceiling. Extend the arm if you like. Otherwise you can stay here. And then come back to center. Place both hands on the ground and then let the front foot come back to meet the back foot. But this time we're going to lower our knees down. Big toes come to touch. Knees go out to the side and rock back into our child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Lots of breath going into the low back space. Really feeling that open up and sinking down. Think about all the good work you just did. Nice job. Proud of you. Let's go ahead and walk ourselves back out onto the mat. We're going to lay down on your stomach. And you move your blocks out of the way. And put your right cheek on the mat. Put the left hand under the left shoulder. Right arm is going to be up to a T. Bend the left leg. Toes go up to the ceiling and then over and rest behind on the floor. So a deep little stretch here for the spine and the shoulder. Try to soften and sink down and enjoy it. And come back to center. Now switch. Put the left cheek on the mat, left arm extends out. Right hand comes under the shoulder. Right foot is going to come up and over and find the floor behind you. Good. Come come back to center this time. And we're gonna push ourselves up and rock onto our back. Grab a block. And if you don't have blocks at home, I should have said this earlier, but you can always use a blanket or a pillow, whatever you have. So you're just used for support, so it doesn't have to be the proper shape or whatever. Go ahead and lay on your back. You want your heels as close as they can be to your glutes, knees pointing up towards the ceiling, and your feet are about hip width apart. On the inhale, we're going to just take a deep breath in. Exhale, I want you to imagine you're corseting your abs together and really pulling your tummy deeply towards your spine. Now, start to raise your hips up, and if you want to, you can put a block under here and use this as like an active rest stretch. This feels really good. You can actually stay here for a minute or so. But if you want to have engagement and build the back body muscles, then raise your glutes up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers under your back, and pull those down towards your heels as you kind of fold your shoulder blades towards each other. And then drive your hips up towards the sky, opening the chest, keeping the neck nice and long. And then release your hands and release your shoulders as you roll your back down very slowly. And pull the knees into the chest. Exhale. Now let's go ahead and rock up to seated position, and I'm going to face you. So I was going to try to do this mirrored, but I'm just going to call it out and you guys can just think about it. We're going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter. So take your left leg closer to you than your right leg, and then you're going to tent your fingers like little spiders and walk them out in front of you. Sit back just a little bit. Rounding down, so chin to chest, walk your hands out, and just kind of roll and soften down, let your head be heavy. We're going to be here for 3 breaths, so really sink in and enjoy it and open up that back hip space. Now walk your fingers back, place your right hand on your right knee, turn your chest so it's over your left knee, place the left hand on the ground and push the knee down as you let your chest fall forward at an angle. And slowly rise back up. Extend the right leg out. The toes are going to come up in the flex position. The thigh is driving down towards the ground, and you can lower your arm on the ground as we reach up and over. Good, and go ahead and come out of that. So we're going to just slightly shift the leg. So now it's going to be directly in front of your hip. And then the left foot is going to be resting on the inner thigh of the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, letting your leg bend so that you can have your ribs on your leg. I don't care how, even if you're like up here, totally cool, whatever. And then you're going to start to slowly straighten your leg as you're drawing your head forward towards your toes. Let's go ahead and walk out of that. If you're an athlete, chances are it's hard for you to go slow and hold stretches, right? We have too many other things we want to do. But by doing this, it's going to help you to show up better in all the other things, all the other types of work you're doing. So let's switch our feet so the right one's closer to us, the left one is out a little bit. Tent your fingers and walk them out. And then soften and sink down, trying to get both hip bones down on the ground. And kind of going through and reviewing what it is that you appreciate about your body. What are some of the things that your body has had to overcome? And how has it proven to be strong for you? Walk your hands back. Left hand on left knee, right cheek is going to go down, right hand is on the ground behind. And sinking down. For me, one of the things is having a baby in my 40s after having, you know, the rest of my kids are teenagers and starting all over again. It's just been a big adjustment, a beautiful big adjustment. But it's okay. Life is full of surprises. Extend the left leg out, let the right hand, or let the left hand come under, let the elbow track towards the ground and reach up and over. There's lots of things, you know, our bodies do for us, whether it's just take us through the day to day, or they walk through cities we want to explore, or mountains that we're wanting to climb, or swim in oceans, or whatever it is that we want to do. Maybe they dance with somebody you love, you know. Gotta be thankful for our body. We only get one, so we better treat it well. And when we think about all the good that our body does, last stretch, straddle stretch, extend the legs out. I'm sure I heard moaning and groaning from people that don't want to do this, but it's good for you. You can take blocks if you want to, and have them out here so that you can kind of rest your head wherever, or you could just walk your hands out to whatever's comfortable for you. Even if it's here, that's okay. Get comfortable with sitting nice and tall, let the crown of the head rise up, nice long spine. I'm gonna walk forward and then sink down, let yourself round down and enjoy this. But if we think about all the things we're grateful for with our body, we're going to start finding more things that we want to do that we're happy and excited about. But if we tear ourselves apart, walk the hands back, then our mind's going to constantly be looking for evidence of what's wrong. And that's going to keep us in a defeated place mentally. And that translates into how we show up and how we perform in all different types of things. It's really important that we're kind to ourselves. All right, go ahead and sit in a nice, tall, crisscross position and take a minute to just kind of go in a circle. And then let's go the other way. It's good for our spine, good for our sit bones. Now stop in the middle, nice and tall. Let your right ear go down to your right shoulder. Make little teeny tiny adjustments if you want to. And chin comes down to chest. Still sitting nice and tall. You can rock the chin back and forth, neck back and forth. And now let it go over to the left side. Relax the shoulders. Good, let your chin comes up back to neutral. Lay down on your mat. Bring your knees towards your rib cage. Let the heels come up towards the ceiling. Bend the legs deeply. Take the hands on the outside of the feet. And pull your knees down towards the ground on the outside of your body. And rock back and forth. Happy baby. Good, and stop in the center, extend both legs out. Let's go back to how we started this practice. So just laying here in shavasana, nice soft shoulders connecting down to the mat, legs laying at whatever is natural for you. As far as distance goes, palms are up to receive the blessings that you just gave yourself with this practice. Close your eyes and just lay here and stay here as long as you can. Paying attention to your own breath. Letting your body sink down